Welcome back to Give Me Five with Jones and Eli. Eli, Flaco the Owl died after colliding with a building. People are in deep despair. Do you understand this?
No, I don't. In full honesty, and no offense to anybody out there who loved Flaco the Owl, I don't think you can be in despair about an owl. And that's not me saying I don't love animals. I love animals, but it's just difficult to me. Like I understand being emotional about your pet, an animal that you like lived in your house and you spent every day with, but an
Sure.
owl just fucking flies around, right? Eats mice and stuff. Like it doesn't have any. You don't have any connection to an owl. You can't have
Yeah.
emotional. The owl did not know that I existed, right? It's the owl's best friends didn't know it existed either. So like, why are we getting emotional?
So I think it was the story that people really connected with, right? In February of 2023, Flacco escaped from the Central Park Zoo, and then there was a big movement to try to recapture him, and then people were like, no, don't recapture him. Let this guy roam free. And eventually when they found out that he was eating okay and he was flying okay, because remember, this was a non-native owl to American land.
Immigrant owl.
Right. They were like, okay, we'll let him roam free. For me, it's just a tragic story. It's a story that, you could almost get F. Scott Fitzgerald to write. It's a Gatsby-esque story. He finally gets to that green light. The owl is finally free. Nobody's trying to capture you. Just live your life. And then you die from smashing into a building? I mean, you got to look in front of you.
It's a tough way to go. It's a really tough way to go out. Flying into a building is a really, that's tragic. I think that's probably, if we're thinking about bird deaths, like getting poached would be a tough one. Somebody shoots like a shotgun at you. That would suck. But I think flying into a building is probably number two.
Right. And do we think, I mean, I don't think I was given the details on this, at least in my research, but it could be one of those classic, he was flying by a New York City building, saw the glass, didn't realize it was glass.
That's devastating.
And, he thought John at the stock market needed this tip that he should be selling Bitcoin. He was trying to rush in to tell him, and boom, you're gone.
Yeah, I feel like I don't ever think that happens in real life, but I guess it does. It's more of like a movie thing. But yeah, either way, if you're flying into a mirror, like at that point, I'm not saying you deserve to crash, but like if you don't see the mirror, fine. But don't you see the other owl coming right at you? Like you're just gonna headbutt the owl?
Well, not necessarily a mirror. I'm saying a window.
But they're reflective. The glass is reflective.
Yeah, but like barely. Like, and I don't know how good birds' eyesight is. Flying. Have good eyes, though. Yeah, of course.
That's the whole thing.
Of course.
Owls are like.
I retracted it.
Good retraction.
But I literally remember, very early in my life, a bird flew right into our big glass window in our family room at home, and my mom and I rescued him because my mom is the number one animal caretaker in the world. I will put my mom against anybody. My mom is the Michael Jordan of animal caretaking. She really is, or the LeBron, depending on where you fall.
Jordan would probably be better.
I would say Jordan or the LeBron, now 40K scorer. But anyway, my mom is the greatest, and we brought in this bird, nursed it, and we were like, oh, it's gonna survive. And then I remember it died in this box we had it in. Like we poked holes and we're like nursing it back to health. And so if my mom couldn't save a bird from that fate, really no one can. So Flacco really never stood a chance.
But again, I think it's different. I think if you bring in a bird, like, and you're rescuing it, like I adopted, not me personally, my family adopted like a stray cat once. And you obviously then build a connection because it's living with you. You feel a responsibility. You're actually taking care of it. They rely on you for food. They rely on you for this, right? My sister had like a frog one time, like it died, and we didn't care because you never hung out with the frog. You know what I mean? Like my point is, you can't tame an owl. Surely somebody could have just got enough new fucking owl. He's alive again. Like, does anybody really know? He's flying around in the air. You don't own the owl. He flies. How can are they really seeing this owl? Oh, that's Flacco. That other owl, oh no, that can't be Flacco. He has a birthmark on his left feather.
Well, so I can understand like being sad. Like when my mom was sad, she exclaimed, "Oh my gosh, Flacco died!" And of course, being the football fan I am, I was very concerned that it was the great Super Bowl champion Joe Flacco, and he is very okay, alive and well, which is great news to hear. And so I can understand my mom being upset by the story, right? But the people who are going to mourn, like actively taking time out of their day, like then I think you need a little reevaluation. Like I'm connected to animals who I don't know, like Miss Peaches getting big on Instagram and TikTok. Dave Portnoy's new dog. I love me some Miss Peaches, and if Miss Peaches died, I would be very upset. But I wouldn't go to a Miss Peaches funeral.
It's also so arbitrary. Like people get sad about this bird dying. That's so sad, but like they probably stepped on an ant on their way there and killed that too. Like that was also a living thing. You know, like they're probably eating some broccoli for dinner. That was alive at one point.
It is all arbitrary, but RIP to Flaco. This has been Gimme Five with Jones and Eli. Reminder to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, subscribe on YouTube, leave a comment, email us. We want to do your pod topics. Eli, thanks for talking.
It was a pleasure, Jones. Talk to you soon.